You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this Sinister X?
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm the Bearded Wonder, Zane Paisley. My normal 10 p.m. co-host, Will Huckabee, is nursing some injuries tonight, so he won't be on. But I wanted to thank you for coming on tonight. How are you doing this evening?
Absolutely. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing just fantastic. Now, I've really been looking forward to talking with you because we here are big fans of 1CW. Stevie Ray Styles seems to be running a great organization. Can you tell us how you got involved with them?
Yeah, actually, through someone I wrestled with at another organization, brought me in, and I did a couple shows with Stevie, and he liked what he saw. And he started using me on a regular basis.
That's great. How did you get your start in wrestling?
Oh, wow. It's funny. A good friend of mine who's a boxer was boxing wrestlers at wrestling shows. And this was going back about 15 years. And he wanted me to walk him into the ring. And I told him as long as him and his entourage were walked behind me, I would walk him into the ring like I was the wrestling part of his entourage. And little by little, I got involved in matches. Then I started training, and then actually I was professionally trained by Sandman and Gary Wolf, actually out in Delaware.
Oh, very nice. Pitbull Gary Wolf, huh?
Yeah, Pitbull Gary Wolf and the icon Sandman, who's a good friend of mine. Actually, we grew up together.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when did you start training with them then?
Wow. Let's see. I've been wrestling for 15 years. My first match was May of 2000. So probably late 99. I recall. Was out there for a few months, maybe a little more with them guys out in Delaware. Sandman had a place out there, and that's where I got my training. And I started down in Philly, May of 2000. Was my first match.
Well, very nice. Now, in your training, I like to hear about people's training. Did you get trained in an actual wrestling ring, or was it a converted boxing ring, or
it was a wrestling ring. It was a wrestling ring. And you took the bumps and you ran your ass off, and you were sore the next day, and it took a while for your body to get used to it. The up and down, the pounding, running the ropes. I mean, it was tough stuff. And for anybody that wants to be a wrestler, it's a lot more than just wanting it. You got to physically be able to do it.
Well, okay. Have you seen any of this Tough Enough show?
No, I don't watch it. I actually turned it on tonight, and they were interviewing a couple of the people because there was really nothing on. And it's hard for me to watch that. I don't, I don't know how I'm not going to say it's not legitimate, but, I had a couple tryouts with WWE, and I know it just wasn't what they were looking for at the time. So I believe if there are people on that show, that there could be people that aren't as good as the other people on the show, but the guy or gal has a certain look, and they like that, and, they'll push for that particular person a little more than the other person. So I don't even bother watching it. It doesn't interest me.
Well, you had mentioned that you can't just want it. You have to go out there and train to do it. They've got a guy.
Be able to, yeah.
They've got a guy on there named ZZ, and he's a young guy. I think he might even still be a teenager. He's 19 or 20, and he knew he was going to this, and he didn't get in shape. And like 5 weeks into it, they keep telling him to get into shape, and you can't do that overnight. And I think that they painted themselves in a corner because they've made this kid look like a baby face, and they're leaving the voting up to the fans. I think they're going to have to put this kid under contract.
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, it's funny, when I turned the show on tonight for the very first time, that he was one of the people they were talking to. And, I see he's a big kid, but it kind of, you say you want to be in shape and you got to get yourself in shape, and especially if you're on a WWE show and they're telling you, and I don't know how many weeks he's been on the show, but I know when I started wrestling that I always worked out in the weight room, but I got myself in better condition to look as good as I could. So it was actually like, if I wasn't the best wrestler, I would still get bookings because how good I looked, how good my body looked, and how physically fit I was. And then this way, I could learn, of course, keep doing my practice and training as I was doing shows, and at least I'd be getting show experience, because that's the thing. You have to learn. You can practice all you want, but you have to be in front of a crowd to really learn how to interact with the crowd and really become a pro wrestler.
Yeah. Well, and you were talking about your look, and you're 15-year veteran now, and you still look massive and huge and great in that ring. So what's your daily, your weekly training like to stay in that stay with that physique?
Well, I swear by 2-a-days, and I tell everybody this: if you have the time, you get in there 2-a-day. I try to do 3 2-a-days a week. It's morning cardio, which isn't just half hour, 45 minutes on the treadmill. It's a circuit, which is a couple minutes on the treadmill, a couple sets of abs, a couple minutes on the bike, a couple sets of abs, 2-3 minutes in the heavy bag, back to abs, maybe some buys, throw some calves in, but everything's 2-3 minutes, a minute, 2-3 minutes. There's spurts of exercises that you put all together in your circuit, and I'll try to do that for anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. And then during the day, I'll get my calories in me, and then I'll come back, and later on I'll do my weights, which is all heavy, 3-4 minutes in between each set, low reps, 5 to 6 reps. That's the size and strength building of my routine. And the morning cardio is the carving, burning fat, jack your metabolism up for the day, that part of my routine. I believe in it. I swear by it. If I could do 4 2-a-days a week, I would. I do 2 to 3, and then my other nights in the gym, 2 or 3 nights. I probably end up training 8 to 9 times a week in 5 days.
Now, have you ever had Sandman do this program with you?
No, but I tell you what, we wrestled once, and I was really green. It was a exhibition match. And he's smoking cigarettes. We're talking outside. Like I said, we're good friends. And he had me so winded in the ring, out wrestling the hell out of me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. A guy, you see a lot of the beer cans and the kendo stick, but I mean, he knows what he's doing, and he's a really smart guy. He really knows his stuff.
Well, and he knows how to entertain a crowd, which is
absolutely, yes.
That's what the business is all about. It's not about, necessarily winning or losing. It's not necessarily about stealing the show. It's about putting asses in the seats, and he definitely did that for all of his career.
No doubt. The entertainment part of it, the showmanship part of it, how you perceived when you walk through the curtain, it just means so much. And less is more. You don't have to go in the ring and do, 30 spots a match. You go out there, you can do a little and impress the people as much as the guys that do a lot of spots and do the high flyers. But I believe it's all about presence, showmanship, and, of course, a little bit of wrestling, of course.
Well, another guy that when I think of training in the gym and looking great out there for the crowd is one of your fellow 1CW competitors, Grey Wolf. Do you guys ever train together?
We never trained together, but we did wrestle. And, he's a beast. He's a bull. I actually like Grey Wolf. We've had our feuds, but, he's a good man inside. He's a good-hearted guy, and he's a beast. He's a strong guy. I don't know if I could train with him with the benching, and I know he does some heavy weight. You know, I don't like to get shown up, but yeah, I wouldn't mind it. But you know, he's a strong guy. He's a sick guy.
Well, I follow him and Blue Meanie on the social medias, and they train together at a Monster Factory in South Jersey, and it's just so funny whenever Meanie tries to take on some of the Grey Wolf challenges. I imagine that similar relationship between you and Sandman.
Yeah, it's a shame that we never got to wrestle a whole lot. But that one time we did wrestle, wow, I really learned a lot. And, you know, people don't realize how in shape they can be, and then they get in a wrestling ring and try to do a few things, and they're just blown up. It's a different animal altogether.
Well, who are some of the guys that you like to work in the ring with?
Excuse me?
Who are some of the guys that you like to work in the ring with over the years?
Oh, wow. Oh, geez, guys that I like to work with. Oh, my gosh. Anybody offhand, I really couldn't think of. Yeah, most guys I haven't wrestled a handful of times or a number of times to say who I like to wrestle. 15 years has been a lot of guys.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you like that.
No. I wrestled with WXW, and I did some training there. This had to be back in 05, 06 maybe, and I wrestled Mana. And he was a good buddy of mine, but he was a beast in the ring. And we had a handful of really good matches. Another big man that I wrestled, Jeff Coleman. Another big guy, jacked, and you know, it always seems you have two big jacked guys, and it's not going to be that great of a match. But we wrestled and we had fun doing it. When I was growing up in the business, I was in NWA Jersey, and I wrestled Big Al from the 911, Big Al from ECW, and I actually won the belt from him, the NWA Jersey belt from him, and he taught me a lot, but I liked wrestling with him.
I didn't know that you were in WXW. We just, the first guest that we had on this evening was Rosie, or Matt Anoa'i. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know what, I left out one of my best friends from the business is Big Jake Molson. We've had a number of killer matches. The number one guy that I love to wrestle is definitely Jake Molson. Big Bad Molson. We've had matches that actually, just brutal matches, but always felt good. Always pleased the crowd. And Molson's a big guy. He's got to be about 6'4", and I know he's over 400 pounds. And he's a big mountain man, you know. But we've had our matches. That's got to be the number one opponent that I've wrestled against for 15 years, and we've wrestled a number of times. And the first time I wrestled him was in WXW.
Oh, very nice. Well, yeah. Once again, this is the Undisputed Wrestling Show. I'm the host for the evening, the Bearded Wonder, Zane Paisley, and I've got on the line with me Sinister X. Now, Sinister X, how can our listeners follow you to know where you're going to be performing, or where you're going to be showing up, or how they can interact with you?
Oh, I have a Facebook page, but it's actually under my my real name. Uh-huh. My profile pic. I actually just changed it to a profile wrestling picture, and my cover page is a wrestling picture. I probably should put up a page with my my wrestling name, but I have it under my real name, Anthony Altarelli, and I tell fans all the time, friend me on Facebook. I'll put you right on, and the questions asked, and this way they can go on to my page, and there's probably about anywhere from 600 to 700 photographs, all wrestling photographs. I don't post any other photographs. They're taken by the professional photographers at my shows and a lot of the fans. on their cell phones and whatnot. But they would just look at Anthony Altarelli is my real name, and that's how they could get a hold of me. That's how they can, see my stuff on Facebook. And like I say, anybody that friends me, I just automatically click on, because most of maybe 80-90% of those people are wrestling fans. And when you do that, you're in touch with the 1CW heavyweight champion, actually, who's going to be defending his title August 29th, and that's in Milford, Delaware.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. That's at the Carlisle Fire Company on Front Street in Milford. Who do you know who you're going to be taking on that night?
No, I'm not. It's actually my first title defense. I actually defeated Sonny Dirty Deeds in a cage match, which is actually an excruciating cage match for the 1CW heavyweight title. And this is my first title defense. I don't know who I'm wrestling, but I'm ready to defend my title. And it's actually a charity show. Proceeds going to the it's AI DuPont Children's Hospital, which I believe is in Delaware. And it should be a great show.
Well, yeah, and one of the bigger names, and I got to meet him a few years ago at an event, WWE Hall of Famer Nikolai Volkoff is going to make a special appearance there that night. Yeah,
I met him in another organization I wrestled for. I've been in touch with a lot of former WWE guys. Actually had a big match down in Wildwood. This is probably back in 06 and 07. I wrestled King Kong Bundy on the beach. They set up the stands, the bleachers, and the ring, and it was a day-night show. And we probably had a good 400 people there. And I actually had met Bundy when I did my first match for NWA Jersey when I was only 2 months in the business. And they sat me down at the table. They said, "You'd be signing autographs here." I said, "Okay, no problem." And who sits next to me but King Kong Bundy? And I turn, "Hey, how you doing?" "Hey, brother, how are you?" Shakes my hand. And these shows were done every Thursday night of July and every Thursday night of August. And we would go out. The wrestlers would go out after the show. We'd hang out. We'd have dinner. And I got to know Bundy pretty well. And I would see him at other shows here and there. Well, the years went by, and about 6 years later, we were actually wrestling on the beach in Wildwood, and it was something else. It was a great time, and hell of a good man, and just the highlight of my wrestling career, no doubt.
Now, were his chops, did he have one of the best chops that you've ever taken?
Oh, I didn't let him chop me. Oh, I ran. No. Yeah, he chop. I don't mind. I'll take a chop here and there. I know how to take it. I can't say. I've been chopped by guys. It stings for a little bit, but, he's got big hands. He's a big, strong guy. And, those chops, they can say wrestling's this and that and the other and all that, but, those chops, man, they're landing them and they leave a mark.
Also appearing on the 29th, where you will be defending your 1CW championship, will be appearing the 1CW women's champion, Casey Carlisle, who is my good friend, Sign Guy. She is one of his favorite wrestlers. And another friend of the show, Crazy Shay, will be there. Have you ever been burnt by Crazy Shay or anything like that? Because he's kind of a crazy man.
No. I never had any run-ins with him. I think most of these guys stay clear of me. So, we'll see what happens down the road.
All right. Well, we have just a few more minutes with you. What would you like to tell your fans that are tuning in tonight? Anything that you want to put out there?
Well, 1CW has a number of shows coming up. You find them on Facebook, and you can look at their schedule. I also wrestle out in Lancaster, LCW, Lancaster Championship Wrestling. I'm currently under suspension right now, but I intend to be back within a couple of months to vengeance. Because I was up to wrestle for the heavyweight championship there, and I don't know what happened. I came under suspension, and I believe it was just a setup to keep me from winning the belt from Mark Hazel. And I'm out there month to month, and I'm in Delaware month to month. And anything like this can be looked up on Facebook. And I just, for the 15 years that I've been wrestling, I always show up at the shows 100%. You hear Sinister X, you know what you're in for. You know what you can come out to see. You're going to see it. And, I don't play games. I'm a decent guy outside of the ring, but when I walk through that curtain, I'm all business.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks so much for coming on tonight, and all of our fans need to go and friend you on Facebook, and that's Anthony.
Yes, friend me on Facebook, Anthony, and the last name is ALTARELLI. And you can friend me on Facebook, and like I say, I don't discriminate. I just confirm, and then you can see some pictures. You can, you get in touch with me, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And everybody go do that. Well, thank you so much, Sinister X, for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. And good luck on the 29th. And once we'll find out on Facebook who you'll be facing on the 29th, and we'll let all the fans know then.
That's great. I appreciate it. My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Well, that was a fun show. We had a good time talking with Matt Anoa'i, otherwise known as Rosie, and he prefers to be called Matt. He wants Rosie to stay where he is. And then we had a great talk with Sinister X. Talked with him and found out some stuff about 1CW and Lancaster Championship Wrestling. Killer Kev, is there anything else we need to go over before we wrap up tonight?
Nope, I think we got it all.
Awesome. Well, Rick and I will be at Exodus Pro Wrestling in Freetown, Indiana, coming up on August 22nd. And it is the debut show for Exodus Pro Wrestling, and I believe that the Prophet Rick Craig is going to be the general manager, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the ring announcer, so that's pretty exciting. And then on September 5th, be making my return to ICW in Marion, Indiana, where I'll be ring announcing, and a special guest that evening will be the Juice Juventud Guerrera. So very excited about that. You got anything going on, Kev?
Nope, just working my butt off, that's it.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll go ahead and wrap up this evening. You guys have a great week. Subscribe to us on the iTunes and hit us up on AngryMarks.com and the Undisputed Wrestling Show.weebly.com. Have a great week.